Right, I'm going to start this video, as all old people do, trying to see what's going on. No, I'm joking. I know a little bit more than that. So, I just wanted to jump on here. I mean, this is super strange, and I feel a bit naff having a YouTube channel, because I don't really know what I'm doing, so bear with me. Also, bear with the various leggings you will see during this time. I'm trying to go out for a walk once a day and, you know, gotta look professional. Right, I just wanted to jump on here with you, and we're just going to have a chat for a minute while I have my coffee, because a lot of you have emailed me saying that you are a bit panicky about doing essay questions, which I completely understand is quite a big facing, quite a big task. And I wanted, it sort of got me thinking, because some of you might not actually be ready to do that yet, and that's okay. So, once a week I am going to upload a video to my channel, which will always have a quiz at the start. I've put one together for now, so we'll have a go at that in a minute. And we'll then have some kind of hints and tips and a fun way for you guys to be revising, because there's ways you can do these things. So, first of all though, based on the emails I've received this week, I've put together this very official document. Once Boris Johnson's free, he's going to get all teachers on this. No, he's not. So, the first thing is that an essay question, you shouldn't take any longer for a 30-mark question than 45 minutes. And please, if you do one thing from this during this time, make sure it's that you plan those questions. So take at least 5 minutes out of your 45 to plan. Otherwise, it won't link together because your thoughts aren't organised, and it's so important to do that. Set a timer for that. Please don't spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours writing, okay? One, because it's not authentic, you wouldn't do that in an exam, and therefore two, it wastes your time a little bit. So please set the timer for 45 minutes. A lot of this is about just practicing, doing work in those times. Sorry, there's old people walking past my window and looking in at me. You never seen a YouTube star before? Okay, right, so the way you do this, set timer. Okay, do the work for that amount of time, just send it to me. Don't double check it, don't think she's going to think that's stupid. I will not think anything is stupid. Then I will feed back to you. Then it is quite important that you go through that process, just like we did at school, of updating your work. Purple pen, but whatever colour pen will do for now. And then you do it again, that process over and over again, until we're happy with what we've got, basically. Okay, so please don't put loads of pressure on yourself. Please don't think, oh, Miss is going to be expecting my best ever work because I've got loads of time now. No, Miss is going to be expecting your best effort in 45 minutes. Right, revision-wise, quiz questions, and you guys can do these for yourselves as well. If any of you want to send me quizzes, then, you know, I can do it in my future YouTube channel where stardom awaits me. Planning essays and questions is just as important as writing them. So even if you just do a load of plans for a few weeks and send those to me, and I say, oh yeah, that's a really lovely thread, lovely angle you've taken, that will be fine by me, okay? Writing essays, of course. So if you are wanting to just practice them, you feel quite confident, go for it. Then you've got your fun ways to revise, okay? One of which I'm going to show you today. I'll give you a sneak peek. Only a little one though, but we'll go through that as well. So every week, basically, I will provide you with a quiz, an update on my rise to fame on YouTube, and also a kind of fun new way that you guys can revise if you wish to. Okay, so if you want to grab a piece of paper while I drink a bit of coffee, and then we will go through this quiz together. I know a lot of you are numberers, you like numbering things. There will be 10 questions today, and they will all be on AO2 on methods. Okay, so 1 to 10 down the margin. Don't need your name on it because obviously you're not taking it in, not the old Rona floating around. And I will give you the answers too. So make sure you've got a handy other pen in a different colour so that you can mark them off. Right, musical interlude. Slurp. Hope you're enjoying writing those questions. Should be on about number 3 by now, I reckon. Another couple of slaps. You know, it's just occurred to me, you can pause YouTube videos, so this interlude is not necessary, is it? Dinosaur. Okay, right. Question number 1 then. What is an example? Oh, actually, no, before I launch into that. If there are any you don't know, don't feel panic or like you're naff, because you aren't. Just put a blank and fill them in with the right colour pen and try and use them in your next essay, the ones you don't know. Okay. Question 1. What is an example of a backstory? In brackets here, because I'm official, I've put events that we know have already happened before the play begins. So what we're not told in an Inspector Calls that we know has happened before we enter the auditorium, before we are watching the production. Oh, sorry. Honestly, like a couple of days away from you lot and my brain is made of mashed potato. Right, question 2. Where is the climax, in brackets again official, the high point of the action in the play? If you aren't sure what act it is, don't panic. If you do know, write it down. If you aren't sure what act, just put the moment, what's going on, okay, in the climax. Question number 3, because you can pause it. Yes, we know this. Where is dramatic irony, official brackets, where the audience know more than the characters do, close brackets, used in the play? So where is dramatic irony used in the play? Okay. Question 4. Where do we see, this is a bit of a stinker, sorry, but it's good. We can expand our knowledge while we're not in school. Where do we see polemic language, official brackets, writing, expressing an argument about social issues such as religion or politics, used in an Inspector Calls? So, again, don't worry about the act and stuff, not important for a minute, just who uses it and what do they say. Okay. Where do we see sarcasm? You guys love this one, I know, so you should be hot on this. Official brackets, the extreme use of irony used to be hurtful, close bracket, used in the play. Why is it used? What is the effect of it? Okay. Question 6. Early in the play, Sheila says to Gerald, "So you be careful." Priestley specifies that the line is said half playful and half serious. Why? What does this tell the audience? So think about that, half playful, half serious. And the quote again is, "So you be careful." So if you imagine, here's Sheila entering the building. Hang on. "So you be careful." There you go. Why? Okay, question 7. At the end of Act 1, there is a significant dramatic pause. When the inspector says to Sheila and Gerald, "Well," what is the effect of the pause? So you just saw some pretty top class acting there. How did that affect you? Question number 8. What technique is used here and what is the effect of it? Eric says he could have kept her on instead of throwing her out. So what technique is used? Listen very closely to the quote. He could, full stop. He could have kept her on instead of throwing her out. Okay. Question 9. Why does Priestley use so many stage directions? Woo! We love the stage directions so much. Why though? Why does he do that? Okay. Question 10. Which structural method is used at the end of each act to keep the audience interested? So there is one thing that is used at the end of Act 1, Act 2 and Act 3 that keep us wanting to watch the next act. And even at the end of Act 3, keep us thinking and wondering and wanting to know exactly what happened. What is it though? Okay. So, pause it here if you haven't quite finished because I'm going to give you the answers now. I feel like a quiz show host. Okay, question 1. So the backstory. Gerald went missing for a summer and cheated on Sheila. We know that. Eric assaulted in some sort of way a young woman and got her pregnant. Mrs. Burling denied aid to a young woman who needed her. Mr. Burling freed a young woman who asked for a pay rise. Sheila got a young woman sacked from Millwards for laughing at her. So all of those things we're told sort of in the play, but they've happened before the action actually starts. So literally, A story that is back in time. A back story. Okay. Question 2. The climax. At the end of each act, there is a climax. Kind of goes like this all the way through. And then right at the end, massive one, where everything falls apart that has been being kind of slowly built and tried to be being kept together. Okay, question 3, dramatic irony. Or Mr. Berlin, basically, because the man is a pompous idiot, as we've discussed in class. So, the Germans don't want war, nobody wants war. Yes they do, because we all know it happened. Okay. Unthinkable, absolutely unthinkable. Read the Titanic. Again, iceberg. Oh, okay, so that actually happened as well then. Okay, question 4. Yes, this polemic language. So, where their inspector says there are millions and millions of Eva Smiths and John Smiths, their lives, that big quote at the end, the one with the anaphora, we are responsible for each other, blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff is almost like a presidential speech, and that is kind of what this language type is. Okay. Question 5. Where do we see sarcasm? Sheila. All the live long day, basically. Here's some examples. I suppose we're all nice people now? Question mark. You were the wonderful fairy prince. Read Gerald. You must have adored it, Gerald. Nice sarcastic tone from me there. That must have been nice for you. Again, more nice sarcasm. We can all go on behaving just as we did. Okay, so all of those quotes, if you weren't sure on any of them, write them down, use them in your next essay. Okay, question 5. Yes, the half playful, half serious. It tells us that there's not a lot of trust in their relationship, okay? And it also adds to that backstory we already have, where we all think that Gerald has kind of gone a bit off piste and done something a bit naughty in the past. Question 7, dramatic pause. Okay, it makes the audience crave that response. They want to know what happened. Okay, in that pause, so much is not being said that we're like, hello, are you awake? Okay, that is the point of a dramatic pause. Right, question 8. Technique used, decode, blah, blah, blah. Repetition. Okay, over and over again. It helps to make the characters and their conversations feel more lifelike, so the audience is more likely to respond to that message. Often in plays, you get people who say everything pristinely and at the right time and in a way that none of us ever speak. Okay, like in this video so far, I've said about 5 weird things that maybe don't make sense actually. You know, and that's because it's live and it's real life. And in Spectacles kind of mimics that with this stumbling of saying the same things, and well, I like this really. Okay, question 9. Why does Priestley use so many stage directions? So all of his stage directions control the tone of the play. So how we read it, basically, and how we hear it, well, how we watch it, actually. It's a play. So it helps us all the way through. Like, Priestley's basically like controlling everything everyone says, and therefore everything we feel, in the way that he's making people say it. Okay, so you were the wonderful fairy prince is a lovely thing to say, whereas you were the wonderful fairy prince is not a nice thing to say. Okay, so that little bit of control allows Priestley to get his message to us. Okay, question 10. Structural method. The cliffhanger. Okay, at the end of every play, a cliffhanger happens that makes us go, right? So, right, no, don't close the curtains. No, we don't know what's happened. Yeah, obviously please don't ever act like that in theatre, but mentally, it's what we all do. Okay, hope you did well on that. Use those things that you don't know. Now it's time for fun revision tools. So I'm going to slide forward on my slidey floor, trying not to kick over my coffee. Right, this is a super fun way to revise. Promise, you can actually show your parents this video and they will have to believe. So, it is a fortune teller. Super easy to make, I'll show you in a second. But this is all about in his spectacles. Okay, so first of all, we got pink, orange, green, blue. So, Azad, if I know you, you'll pick green, because you're an eagle. So let's go. So we go G-R-E-E-N. Lovely. And then we've got 3, 4, 7 and 8. And I'm going to go as of for 3 o'clock because that's your favourite time of day. So then we open it up, and the question I've got here says, who says we are all responsible for each other? So you would write down your answer to that. Make sure obviously you have the answers somewhere for your own thing. So you can kind of almost self-quiz with this, okay? Next, let's go for pink, because we all miss Kelsey and she's a Pink fan. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got, oh, the same. Cool. 7, 4, 3 and 8. Right, let's go for 8 because we like after 8s. So here we've got who uses sarcasm and why. Okay, so I think we all get how that goes. Right, the way you make these is fairly simple. I say fairly simple, I can't get it undone. Right, so when you unfold it, okay, you should have it's got to be a square, first of all. There's loads of YouTube videos of this that are going to be much better than this, so you can log off now. Nothing else really important is coming. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, so you've got to fold like that both ways. Okay, so you've got sort of two, you have like a cross in the middle sort of thing. Oh, good. Then you want to fold the corners over a bit like this. Obviously this will be plain paper at this point. So you've got one that's a diamond with no creases, one that's a diamond but with all the creases going on there. Then you fold these bits over. So this is an open crease on this side. Okay, so non-crease side, lovely. Fold over a little triangle so it's creasy. This is so official, this video, I know. So you do that with all of them. Then you will have this sort of shape. So one will have squares on one side and the other one will have triangles on one side. At this point, put your numbers on the side with the triangle bits. And put your colours, or whatever you want to do, hearts and, I don't know, stars or whatever, symbols, you know, on the other side. So squares for symbols, if you like, and triangles for numbers. Then, underneath your, this is going to sound weird, but underneath your number flaps, you want to put in here all your questions. So you have a blank square almost in the middle and question, question, question. At that point, fold it all back up, fold it, in half, so you've got 2 colour dots on either side. Open those up, those little squares, pop your fingers underneath, and you will find that your joyful little thing is complete. And you can make these for all of our texts that we've studied, in fact. Great way to revise because you're making the questions up yourself and obviously noting the answers down and whatever, basically. So that is my top tip for fun ways to revise, and if you like you can just send me pictures of these and I will accept that as a bit of work for the week. That is fine. And that's it really. So stay healthy, please, stay happy, do not let work stuff stress you out. Contact your teachers if you're having any problems, and hopefully the mere sight of this lunatic face will make you feel more calm and like we're all not stressy and going, oh, why are they going work to us? Oh, they're going to be in trouble. No. Okay, we want you to do work because you're important. Okay, and your education and your exam results next year are hugely important, but equally so is your well-being and your welfare. So if you're having a very tough time, either because you're ill or because your mental health is suffering slightly with this very stressful situation or whatever it is, please just email me and let me know. That's all I ask. Okay? Right, next week, year 10. Have a good one. Don't get the Rona.